Hey guys, Dr. Mike Deuce, MTFU Longevity Over 50. How are you? Just a quickie here on intermittent fasting. It's the new fad. It's the new thing. Even standing in the grocery store in line, I'm, perusing the National Enquirer and all that. And on one cover, there was intermittent fasting. The other one was keto. People sometimes come up and say, "What about keto?" And I'm like, "What about it?" Listen, I wrote an article. You will never gain significant muscle mass while practicing intermittent fasting. Now, I have a good member in MTFU, and I wrote this nice long article, and he responded by saying, wrong. Look, I'm wrong lots of the time, but I'm probably right more of the time, only because I spew so much stuff, so the odds are in my favor. I'm not saying he's wrong. He says he does intermittent fasting, he eats 2 meals a day. I'm not looking at exactly what he wrote, and he's gaining strength and this and that. But I did point out to him, I go, the article that I wrote is gaining significant muscle mass, significant. We have a lot of bodybuilders here. We have a lot of people who are building the body, all right? We're not talking about becoming a big fat person and building yourself into a mass of shit. We're talking about quality tissue. That is the issue, okay? And he's not wrong. He could be an outlier, okay? Just a person who responds. Listen, I'm going to talk about an absolute. If you don't know what an absolute is, here's an absolute. There's very few absolutes. An absolute is the atmosphere that we all breathe is 21% oxygen. That's not negotiable. I don't care if you're eating in an outdoor cafe in Calcutta, or you're here in Connecticut, or you're down in Florida. Everybody needs that. That's not negotiable. That's an absolute. Now, I would never pervert my interpretation of the human physiology to say that all 7.7 billion people on this planet respond the same to the same type of stimuli. That's utterly inane, okay? Especially when people approach me on here, it's very hard because I don't know their personal histories and they don't either. So they'll present something, should I do this? I go, I don't know. What is your goal? Really, it comes down to this. Do you know your body? And intermittent fasting, listen, looking at the site here, it's a good site, longevity site. They quote a lot of different benefits. It helps people lose weight, it improves blood pressure, process body fat more easily, could reduce forms of cancer, so on and so forth. You can burn more fat and enter ketosis quicker, maybe. But listen, they do reference fairly that all of these studies are rather sparse and they need more information. I'm not big on studies at all because oftentimes they are adulterated by either special interest money or investigator bias or both, i.e., they're trying to sell you something. So they lie. And going back to my member, he's getting good results. So I say keep going. As long as you're not doing any harm, keep going. But if you're committing yourself to a false understanding of something that's not in alignment or incongruency with how your body works, and you don't really even know what your goal is, it's a breeding ground of tragedy. You're just wasting a bunch of time, and you could be doing some damage. Working with John Romano right now, he's got me eating 7 meals a day. Uh, and at first, it was very hard for me to take all that food in because my physicality, my body, my metabolism, my function was not accepting of that many calories. But as we worked over a short period of time, now my body's using all that. I'm over 200 pounds, still got all my abs. I'm fairly as lean as when I started, kind of close. I've gained some body fat, but I've probably gained more lean mass. That works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. Now, we all fast. If you go to bed at 11, wake up at 7 or 8, you fasted for 7 or 8 or 9 hours. And then there's ways to extend the fast. There's the 5-2 technique where you eat normally for 5 days and you fast for 2. And then there's just big open windows of not eating at all, and you do all your eating within 6 or 8 hours. Look, if you're getting good results, I have no problem with that. But again, you don't want to do yourself any harm either. So do your due diligence, find out what works for you, and remember, if you're doing something that's so difficult that you can't wait to get off it. In other words, if you start to adopt intermittent fasting, if you're working in integrity, you'll do that for the rest of your life. It's an eating style. It is not a diet, because a diet means you get off it. And I know this is very straightforward, basic information, but nobody fucking listens anyway. This shit will never be solved. At least probably not by me. That's all I got. Dr. Mike Duce, MTFU Longevity. Please leave your thoughts, questions, and considerations down below because they are my oxygen. Thank you.